Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. So before we get started, I just want to show you guys what's coming next week, and that's going to cause lots of volatility here in this market. And not even gonna talk about these events on Monday and then Tuesday, but especially right here, guys, we do have FOMC going into Wednesday. And not to mention, look at this, we do have big earnings coming up next week. We got earnings from Amazon, big name. We got also SMCI. It's not a big name, but it's moving really big, so it's going to cause some volatility here. And then we got 3M right here. And then on Thursday, what we got? Apple releasing earnings. But also in between, you can see right here, big names like Qcom, Pfizer reporting earnings. So that's going to cause lots of volatility here in this market. And then on top of that, we also have Jay Powell coming out and speaking on Wednesday. We do have that FOMC. So this week, it's going to be a jam-packed week. You need to watch how the market moves. We might be going higher, or market could be setting up a lower high, and then we can continue lower. On Amazon stock, it's up 3.43%, so gap up and go on Friday. Never came back down to this gap, 173.92, and now closing slightly under the resistance right here, 180. Now we do have earnings coming out from Amazon this week, and then we also have FOMC on Wednesday, and on top of that, the biggest earnings coming out on Thursday from Apple. So that's going to cause lots of volatility here in this market, just like last week. So here on Amazon, guys, going into Monday morning, watch out. Amazon can break and hold 180. Watch out for the resistance right here on top. 20-day moving average, 181.49. And Amazon can clear that. We could see a run up all the way up to 185. Now, Amazon gets a rejection from 180 or possibly from this 20-day moving average, 181.49. Watch out for a move back down to 50-day moving average, 177.78, and below that you're going to see a dump off down to this gap right here at 173.92, and that's gonna be a strong support down here on Amazon. Now Amazon breaks under this support, there is gonna be more dump off all the way down to 167, and then this gap 159.76. On Google stock, it's up almost 10% with earnings on Friday. Massive rally to the upside. Got up to 176 plus and another fresh new all-time high. But looks like it's finding some ground, some support just above 170. So that's going to be your line in the sand right here at 170. And below that, we might be coming down, retracing upper Bollinger Band right here at 166.54. And then we also have strong support right here at 162, and then this gap right here near 20-day moving average, 158. Now as long as Google can continue this move and can hold 170, watch out for the resistance at 176 and then 182. On Tesla, stock is down over 1%, so Tesla was up all the way up to 172 and now into closing on Friday, closing at 168.29, just above 164 to 165. That's going to be a strong support to watch right here on Tesla. 20-day moving average right here, close to 164, and we also have support at 165. Now below that level, you're going to see Tesla coming down and retesting the support down here. 13-day moving average, to be exact 159.67, but I would say 160 because we have also this 5-day moving average coming up and it's rising, so it's going to come up here around 160 going into tomorrow's session, and that's going to be a strong support as well right here on Tesla. Now Tesla breaks under all these levels right here, even under 160, then you're going to see 152 and then this gap 147.26. Now as long as Tesla can hold above 20-day moving average right here close to 164, Watch out for some continuation to the upside all the way up to 175 to 176 right here, 175.53 to be exact, negative sloping 50-day moving average, this red line, and Tesla can actually break and hold this line right here. You're going to see more continuation to the upside up to 183 and then this gap 186.72. And here's my X account, and if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And there's no subscription, nothing here on X. It's totally free, and you can always ask me a question if you have right here on X. And here's some fantastic plays from last week. Friday I actually did nothing. This was Thursday. We got a big dip on Amazon. I was actually willing to buy Amazon at 169, but right at opening Amazon came down to 167, and that was it. Got into Amazon, and within 10 minutes, this was a beautiful setup here on Amazon. This thing went through the roof, and on Friday, guys, 180 plus. So all these trade ideas are available on Patreon, and especially if you want to support the channel, check out their link down below in the description. On Microsoft, it's up 1.82%, so we saw Microsoft going up almost 5% with earnings coming out Thursday night and then pretty much faded, and now it's only up just over 1%, which is not a good thing here on Microsoft and not a good thing for the market, because if this thing dumps down to this gap right here at 400, you're going to see everything pulling back, and it's not too far away from this gap, guys. It can happen early as tomorrow morning. Microsoft can come down and close this gap right here just below 400, and that's gonna be a strong support to watch. Now on that route, there will be support right here, 5-day moving average, and that is sitting at 405 almost. So 405 gives up, you're going to see a drop down to this gap just below 400, and then we also have support at 395.65 and then 390. Now we talked about it before earnings that Microsoft can come down and close this gap on Thursday, and definitely did that right here, closing this gap and immediately finding buyers going back up, and also getting a massive rejection from 413 on Friday, and now trading at 406 just above, rising 5-day moving average, sitting close to 405. So you'll line this end 405 and below that 400 down here to close this gap. To the upside, Microsoft will find resistance at 410, 413, 415, and above 415, this thing can rally all the way back up to 420, and possibly will go up to previous all-time highs right here and retest 430 plus. On Meta, it's up 0.43%, and I think very soon you're going to see Meta closing this gap on top, or possibly coming down and closing this gap on bottom. Now, how do you get that confirmation? Well, Meta actually breaks above 452 and holds 452 right here as a support. You're going to see some continuation to close this gap to the upside. The next stop will be 470, and then this gap 484.58. Now also keep that in mind, we do not have a bull trend on Meta anymore, at least here on this daily time frame. Also, lower Bollinger Band not moving higher anymore. It's coming down. So now Meta gets up to 452, or possibly from here. Yes, a rejection here. This thing can come down all the way down to 400 to close this gap down here. So watch out, guys. There is going to be a big move here on Meta very soon to close one of these gaps. It could be to the upside above 452. It's going to happen, and this thing going back up to close this gap to the upside, and below 452, watch out, there might be another drop for $40+ to close this gap down here at 400. So there is lots of money to be made here on Meta. You just gotta pick what direction you want to go with. On Apple, stock is down 0.35%, and we do have earnings coming out from Apple this week on Thursday. Now here on Apple, guys, into closing, not even holding right here 20-day moving average, which is sitting at 169.37 right here. closing at 169.30. So that is the concern here in Apple stock. If this thing cannot break and hold 170, you're going to see Apple pulling back, and now there will be support at 168, but soon as that gives up, this is going to be a lower high again, and we might be coming back all the way down to make a new low, and that's going to be 162. So watch out. Apple breaks out above 170. You're going to see more continuation up to even 173, 175, and then 177. Below 170, there will be support at 168, rising 5-day moving average, 166, 163.85, and then 162. On AMD, it's up 2.37%, so AMD got up to 158.63, and if you look at my screen, touching and now holding above 157.25, 13-day moving average, got slightly above that level and closing at 157.40. So going into tomorrow's session, 157, that's going to be your line in the sand, 157.25 to be exact, and below that, 152 and then 148. Now, AMD can stay above right here, 157.25. Watch out for a move all the way up to 164 to retest negative sloping 20-day moving average, and then this gap just above that level, 166.55 right here on top. Now to the downside, AMD cannot break and hold right here, 157.25. As of right now, into closing on Friday, it is above 157.25, closing at 157.40. So it is above 13-day moving average. But if it cannot hold going into tomorrow's session, there will be an immediate drop down to 152.76 to be exact, 5-day moving average. And then below that, this is going to be a lower high, and AMD might be coming back all the way down to not only take out this low from last week, might be coming down to 138. So watch out. This could be just a dead cat bounce on AMD. We need some more follow through, and possibly AMD gets up right here above 164 and can hold right here. That would be more bullish for AMD for possibly more upside. So Netflix going down 0.63%, and now it's not even holding this support right here, 564, and now trading at 561.23 at the closing on Friday. So there will be strong resistance at 564. Now Netflix can clear that, then watch out for a move possibly up to 588, and then this gap right here at 605. Now that is the scenario here on Netflix to the upside. Do we have a bull trend to back that up? Absolutely not. None of these moving averages are positive sloping to the upside anymore. All these moving averages are negative sloping to the downside, so we do not have a bull trend on Netflix. Now, Netflix actually cannot break and hold 564. Then watch out for continuation to the downside. In that case, next support will be at 550, 545, lower Bollinger Band, 528, 506, and then this gap right here at 498. On Nvidia stock, it's up over 6%. So Nvidia was down last week Friday 10%, and look at this Morgan Stanley pump on Friday, guys. Upgrade, and talking about Nvidia can go up another 21% up to 1,000, and that was it. Gap up and go, and this thing exploded on Friday. And trend is your friend, like we said, right? Definitely not in this stock, because trend was down, big bearish engulfing candle. Do we have any follow through last week? Absolutely not. Look at this pump, breaking above 840, not even stopping here, going all the way up to 883, and pretty much closing at the high of the day on Friday. So that is just insane how one stock, and it's not Apple and Microsoft, Google, and Meta moving the market. One stock moving the market, guys, Nvidia. So going into tomorrow's session, if there is any pullback, anything on Nvidia we get, there will be support right down here, 856. Below that, 840, and then this gap, 833. Now as long as Nvidia can stay above 856, we could see continuation all the way up to right here, 900 to 905, and up to even 926 to even 932.67 to retest upper Bollinger Band, and possibly can move back up to 960. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated.